Nation, gentlemen, welcome back to the Game 2 of Rising Star versus Tong Fu. This is the AMD Premier League broadcast to you by Beyond the Summit. I am Luminous and I'm joined by, of course, BTS Gods. This is AP Remake. We had a little bit of technical difficulties and we are back with the AP. And this is Wisp, Queen of Pain, Magnus, CK, as well as a Leshrac for Rising Star. So finally a CK Wisp combo. And we're going to see Tong Fu picking up a Brewmaster, Clockwork, a Keeper of the Light, a Rubik, and lastly, Gyrocopter.
Yeah, we see another Gyrocopter out of Tong Fu. Once again, picking in the first three picks. As for Rising Stars, they picked the CK in the first three with the Wisp. They picked Mag Wisp with their first two picks. CK was their third pick, and they wanted to make sure they got it. Because last game, they kind of had to resort to an Alchemist, which didn't go too well for them. So I like this little switch up from them. We'll see how Tong Fu look to lane things if they go for another offensive trialing with the safe lane Gyrocopter. It would be a slightly unorthodox trialing. They've got a Brewmaster, Keeper of the Light, plus Rubik trialing, but it's definitely possible.
It looks like there might be actually a solo mid Clockwork with the Panda with King J up top. Wisp should be fine. He could always tether himself out. And the reason I'm making this guess is that Clockwork does have a ton of gold saved up, so imagine he's going to be going solo mid again. Is King J just straight up on the long lane here?
I don't think he's offensive trialing. It's another safe lane Gyro against Matt.
Okay, so we haven't seen Panda offensive tri lane at all. I don't really think it works, but hey.
It's okay. He's tanky. He's got a. He's just that. It's kind of like a just tanky melee hero to farm up.
Like a standard filler. And I know people are screaming about the overlays. I got you covered. You guys didn't miss too much of anything. It's still early here in the States, so.
Oh yeah.
Gotta cut me slack on that one.
It's 5:30 or something. I thought I just heard a Clockwork hook because I just heard our intro in the background because I forgot to mute the stream. But that's not a Clockwork hook. Clockwork's not level 6 yet. With CK Leshrac, this is a strong trialing for sure. Wisp obviously doesn't offer a whole lot, but the tether to follow up a Reality Rift is pretty nice.
A little bit D-War action coming up here. This camp is going to get blocked off, which normally doesn't actually signify too much, but supports lady, especially a Wisp support, is so important to pull your creeps and then tunnel through. But it looks like D-War coming out as this one, well, we'll take care of it. Tong Fu taking control of the enemy jungle, so we saw how they were really able to offensive trialing successfully last game. Let's see if they're going to have similar success this one. It's going to be King J on the Panda, Shansheng on the support Rubik, Banana playing Keeper of Light. Of course, Mu on the Clockwork in the mid lane. Last but not least, on the top, it's going to be Hao playing Gyrocopter again.
Yep, we're going to see the Rising Stars. We've got Super playing his Wisp. We've got the CK being handled by Zhao Chuji, the carry player. We've got XTD on the Leshrac. They're the ones stealing this bottom lane trialing. Solo mid, Queen of Pain against the Clockwork. Air actually doing a lot of damage up against Mu. Air in a bit of trouble. He doesn't have Blink. He's caught in cogs. This could be a first blood.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. What? We just saw Queen of Pain get first blooded at level 1 by a Clockwork. That is a first for me.
What in the actual world? So we didn't really see the beginning of that first blood, but what basically happened was that Clockwork was able to smartly creep aggro and draw the aggro onto him. A little bit of action happening on bot. And because of that, he was able to hit level 2 before Queen of Pain did. A lot of Queen of Pain's creep died before that. And because of that, 2 spells versus 1, no blink, got trapped by cogs, and that was all she wrote. That was kind of insane. Now we have a looks like you have Air trying to go for the courier snipe. Nice micro here by Move going it back, but almost level 4 in that clock against an almost level 3 Queen of Pain. But the big thing is the fact that Move's got his battle quote growing on. He's got 500 gold. He's got 200 gold after buying the boots. This is an insane lead right now for Move.
Well, the top lane hero who I didn't actually get to mentioning is going to be the Magnus being played by Mofi. Same matchup as last game. We've got the Gyrocopter versus the Mag, and it's probably going to be once again quite handily won by Gyrocopter, especially at the early levels. But once Mag gets his level 5, gets his bottle up, he can start bottle crawling, he'll catch up on farm.
Yep. So my big question is, how is this going to trialing go versus trialing? Looks like they're going to go right on Shansheng, and it's going to be a 1 second stun. Smurf's going to hit through, and that's going to be the kill. Let's see if they're going to lose XCD because of the King J is not going to have enough slow to bring him down. In fact, they could even re-engage if that's what they want. No, Reality Rift still on cooldown, so nice pickup here by the CK Wisp trialing on the bot.
Yep. Early kill for the CK with Australian is going to help them quite a bit. Be interesting to see what they go for here. I wouldn't even mind seeing like CK pick up a bottle because they can share that HP and mana regen between the Wisp and CK. And right now, those two heroes definitely need the mana regen. So if CK doesn't, I expect Wisp to maybe bring out some more regen to share between them. Already CK having some mana problems.
Yeah, imagine it might be a drum spell. That's definitely a very popular build on the Chaos Knight, as it does give you the necessary movement speed, attack speed, but more importantly, like you said, the mana, the stats. It's very, very key. But this is kind of the key difference you see between let's say a Brewmaster and a Sven. Looks like they see the Illuminate coming and they want to re-engage. They don't have the mana just yet. The Spliff is gonna hit. Banana's low, but not low enough to actually get brought down. Big, huge lift, and that's gonna be fine here. But he does actually magic stick up. These 1 second stuns are just not cutting it. Let it Illuminate. Just nice Spliff. XDD just doing so much work, and Banana might be in a little bit for too much trouble. Wisp, I'm not sure if he died as well. Looks like he was able to survive and chase away, but he should be okay.
Well, that was some useful kills for the Rising Stars trial lane once again, as Wisp Leshrac, not so much with the Wisp CK, the CK getting all these 1 second stuns has sort of become a bit of a problem for Rising Stars, but they're still getting the kills, they're still holding their own, and Mag at the top lane's doing a lot better this time around, so I feel Rising Stars will be pretty happy with this position they're in, and that's with Queen of Pain giving up a very fast first blood.
Yeah, and back to my point, this is kind of the key difference between Brewmaster and other melee carry that has an actual stun. If they were trying to initiate that against a Sven, for example, like last game, that would not fly, because the only thing that would be flying is Stormhammers up your face, and that will get easily turned around. Unfortunately, King J doesn't have the same necessarily defensive impact for his allies.
Well, we're going to see Haste Room being picked up by Queen of Pain as he steals it from the Clockwork from moves. Going to actually pop it in. Is he rotating bottom? Yeah, he's rotating bottom. Banana's in all sorts of trouble. No, he runs past.
They're just spending a ton of that Haste Rune. It's going to be just walking all the way back mid.
Okay, didn't want to go in. I guess there was, if Rising Stars had the 2 supports, so they would have looked to make something happen, but with just CK, they couldn't really go in.
Yeah, really, we haven't talked about too much is how effective is going to be able to shut down the Queen of Pain this game. Last time we saw Queen of Pain being forced to go into BKB. You think we're going to see a similar kind of impact for the Queen of Pain, which is very little, coming up from Rising Star this game? Or do you think Queen of Pain is going to have an easier time, considering the fact that there is no 2 second stun on Stormhammer? The only thing that could actually stop them is the telekinesis, which is okay, but it's not enough, I think.
There's a lot less lockdown this game. I think it's a much better game for Queen of Pain. Also, the Keeper of the Light Rubik, 2 good, fairly squishy heroes to try prey on. I think it comes down to the Queen of Pain around level 8, level 9, how effective she can be in ganking. If you can set up kills in the other 2 lanes when that happens, then it's a good game for the Queen of Pain. And Clockwork's going to be looking to do something similar, but it's more the same type of zoning. Just look to push prevent Queen of Pain from getting those kills. So those 2 heroes will sort of be the ones looking to control the mid game for their team, and that's going to decide a lot about how this game goes down.
Another Illuminate's gonna fly through. It looks like they want to re-engage right on Shanshong. This is gonna be a 4 seconds, so the Spliff's gonna hit on top, but the Illuminate will follow through. XDD's looking low, and it looks like Tedder doing a little bit of block. XDD is gonna trying to tango. He's going through it, and it looks like King J's gonna get 1 kill. But Hao has come in here. He's looking for the final kill. Flat cannon, you can flag off of the Wisp into the CK. He's gonna get the kill. Great play from Hao. Creative, smart.
Another kill.
Yeah, the rocket's gonna hit on Super.
He's trapped.
And Illuminate's gonna fly through, and Hao not gonna get the 2nd kill. It's gonna be King J, so the tri lane being completely decimated upon. It's gonna do 3-4 advantage Tong Fu.
That's something I think Rising Stars were just completely not expecting. A TP coming down from the safe lane solo Gyrocopter, he's just 1v1ing a mag. To expect someone like that to TP in is just unheard of. If it's something like a solo puck, yeah, but Gyrocopter not known for his ganking ability, especially with the flat cannon, because he got this fast phase boost, he's got the mobility that he can chase down all these kills.
Yeah, he wants to end up, and Panda's gonna be very tanky. It's only a 2 seconds, so Spliff's gonna come through, Spliff's gonna hit, and King J looking low, but it's gonna be enough. No, finally he does go down, and Hao's, look at 2nd cooldowns came down. It looks like they are gonna get a kill, but the 1 second stun will go through, and Hao, he's slow, he's also gonna fall. And finally, Magnus decides to join the party, but a little bit too late. Maybe not enough though. Shansheng's low. Shockwave, Skewer. Gonna get the kill.
Nice. That was some amazing stunts coming out from XCD. XCD was the hero in those 2 fights there. He did so much damage and shoot a number of kills, and it's because of the smart build of his. He went for the Lightning Storm over the Edict. If he went Edict, there was 2-3 kills there that Rising Stars would not be picking up.
Yeah, Lightning Storm was doing a ton of work there. Clockwork's gonna come in and already pick up a Wisp. He's looking for a little bit more lack of mana, but not lacking the movement speed. He could actually even cog and go right back, but Queen of Pain, is he rotating it? No, he's not. These two yeah, the calls are gonna be a big factor in terms of delaying it. Why is Moose stealing? Moose is just really having the balls of steel, literally. And,
he spotted out the Wisp CK because of that observer behind tower, and he's just running for dear life here. CK not going to get close to
towers taking hits.
Oh, you can see that King J looking to grab a root. Not going to find that one.
Well, I'll go straight back top, and 8 minutes in, we've seen a lot of action. Most of it centers around this bottom lane.
Yeah, last game we didn't see this amount of kill until end of the game when team fights are starting to break out, but a good little bit kind of differing in terms of how the pacing of the game goes. But like you said, nobody expects that Gyrocopter to TP in, but what we witnessed is the fact that he can TP in. I mean, a lot of teams play him as a support for that reason. He has a high early game impact without farm, but like you said, phase boot plus flat cannon, it's like a nuke, especially against all these supports.
And Tong Fu, they decide that Brewmaster is a more important hero to get his next item up, the Blink Dagger up, and he actually goes to the mid lane. So we'll see Clockwork look to roam around, be more sort of a ganking type role now, while King Jake tries to farm his Blink at the mid lane. I like this little switch up from Tong Fu. They want that Blink more than they need Clockwork to pick up any more items. Clockwork, Treads, Bottle, Wand, Bracer, he's got all he needs for the next 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, like you said, he's pretty much done. More importantly, he's got the level 8, and most of his spells are sufficiently high level. That battery is still doing a ton of damage, and he is perhaps going to have a little bit trouble on the bot lane, but looks like trying to pressure the tier 1 tower a little bit more on the mid is Tongfu's objective right now. And it looks like CK Wisp, let's check out on their level. They're almost 6. Yep. And perhaps Moo's going to drop down here. In fact, he will. Nice cogs, though.
Yeah, I don't think they can actually kill him.
Yeah, Xiao Tuji's, I'll take my horse back because I want to keep my mana.
Even without that cogs, I don't know if they can... They just don't have the damage. You look at Clockwork with 1300 HP, a magic wand, and some bottle regen in there. CK's damage is nowhere near enough to kill up a Clockwork, and here comes the rotation. Yeah, lots of heroes coming bottom.
It's gonna be tough here. King J's gonna get clap lift. They're going for the very, very tanky CK. A 3-second stun. Illuminate barely clips. They're gonna get the kill. And Wisp is kind of...
I don't think he's been spotted.
Ooh, that's some sick next level juking.
He almost revealed himself by the enemy creep wave, but no, he just stayed hidden. I think they expected him to TP out. He doesn't actually have one though.
Well, he does have his relocate TP if that's what he wants, but...
He's just hit 6.
And looks like a smoke gank up top, but... Yeah, Hal says, I don't think so.
Yeah, how's that going for you? It's no one there at all. Hal's actually at the mid lane, and this T1 tower going to take a bit of damage here. Hal once again going fast bracer, not finishing off the drums, just going straight for a BKB. Same build as last game.
You know, sometimes when stuff like that happens, I wonder if it's really next level like map awareness, or how just basically teleport mid because his team wants him to actually like, oh, let's come push mid. You never really will know.
Shot super in the jungle.
Ooh, looks like I thought he missed. That's why I didn't actually go for it. But sorry for missing that kill. Skewer's gonna come in. That's gonna be a 2-man RP. Sonic Wave's gonna follow through, huge damage. Panda ultimate's gonna come through right now, but there's just no follow-up. Panda a little bit confused in terms of what he wants to do. He wants his tier 1 tower and probably pick off the Leshrac as it becomes nice contra follow through. You can see that after a RP Sonic Wave, it's a 2-for-2 trade, and Tongfu got the tower.
Yeah. And all the 2 they got, it's 2 supports. A Rubik, a Keeper of the Light. Tongfu just like, whatever, we'll take that. We get a tier 1 tower, we get closer to a Blink Dagger and our Panda. Gyrocopter gets himself some more farm. And Clockwork, well, he gets some assists, he gets some more involvement in there. He's got enough gold for his Drum of Endurance now, if that's what it looks like what he's going for. So Tongfu, another good trade going their way. They're just so smart as a team, even when they sort of had that slightly poorly executed trial in at bottom, or just not so much poorly executed, but it just doesn't really work because of the Panda and Brewmaster against the CK Wisp, but they're easily recovering here in the mid game.
Yeah, it's Rising Stars picking the flashy heroes. They have the flashy Wombo combo, which is saw the epicenter, or not epicenter D. It looks like we're gonna have a mid fight going on. King J's low, he should be fine. His ultimate is not online. And with the multiple TPs, they're actually gonna chase Clockwork Cook. It's gonna sit on Xiao Tuji, or they're gonna have to relocate him and back out. The cogs pushing them away. Look at how aggressive these guys are playing, but it never turns out to be over-aggression. Again, they don't have the flashy hero, they don't have the RP into Sonic Wave, they don't have the CK Wisp. It's a standard hero, but played to mostly perfection.
Yeah, this Clockwork I think is going to be sort of the pick in the Eastern qualifiers almost. It's going to be seen all the time from the first 3. I don't think it's going to quite make the first stage of bans, but very few games will Tongfu aren't playing, but Rising Stars, Rattlesnake love their Clockwork, and I think even teams like VG Gaming, CTY's been playing a lot of sort of solo mid Clockwork, so we're going to see a lot of this here, I feel, in the upcoming qualifier.
Yeah, Clockwork is somewhat, remember like 3 or 4 months ago, we were asking Alex, we see CK Wisp TP, and you're not gonna run away from this combo. Easy pick off. And let's see how much Rising Star can stretch this map open. Are they gonna get pick off? That Wisp is low. That Wisp is gonna die, and Well, Xiaotushi doesn't have that bust home, but the rocket gonna hit. The rocket will not hit.
Technical difficulties.
That was
Radiant's
close.
bottom tower in a
Yeah, and the key thing there was Rising Stars had the observer on the high ground clip. Uh-oh, it's not over though. Clockwork hook shot finds Leshrac. Goodbye, Leshrac.
Yeah.
Leshrac gets brought down.
We were talking about the high impact of this hero 3-4 months ago. He wasn't play at all. We were asking pros, why isn't this hero play? And people are like, oh, you know, he hook in and he die. Well, so far we're seeing him to hooking in, but it's actually the other guys that are dying.
The Dire
Yeah.
might want
I think a lot of what I sort of comment on as to why it's not picked is because he doesn't do a whole lot of damage output. He's a good initiator, but he doesn't really offer a whole lot of damage or team fight once he's gone in. But I think players and teams realize this new max out battery assault fairly early build. You don't go for the Cogs rocket because he used to get picked 3-4 months ago, and you'd go off late and you'd max Cogs first, and then you'd go rocket second and battery assault just the 1 point, and you max it last. But players and teams are going max battery assault, and it does some strong damage. It also has a much shorter cooldown, so it's a much better build overall for Clockwork.
Yeah, more importantly, Clockwork gives you a ton of utility in multiple stages of the game in the laning, as well as a late game against BKB heroes, the Cogs, pushing back, burning mana, that's a big deal. Of course, we saw in game 1 how good he is against Magnus, and if you guys have been living under a rock, Magnus is one of the most premier pick nowadays. Being a quote-unquote counter to that is a big deal, so that's why we see Clockwork being more and more important in the drafting stage. And like you predicted, I think Eastern Qualifier is going to have a ton of Clockwork themselves.
Invisibility.
Well, we'll see. How Rising Stars, they've got the Wisp CK. They found the 1 kill with it now. Do they just keep looking for those pickoffs, do you think, or do they try to take a team fight with the Mag RP soon?
I think they do actually look for the pickoffs. As powerful as the Mag RP as well as Sonic Wave follow-up is, I think Tong Fu is just one step further. They're just better in terms of the team fight. Centaur gets dropped. Look at how aware these guys are. They're like heroes missing off the map, but it looks like they need to be a little bit more aware. Blink Clap Ultimate's going to be coming out from the Panda, but Tong Fu, how he's low, but not low enough before it drops off a couple spells. RP is going to be used, but it's only on Panda splits. Not going to do a single thing. Xiaotushi's on the run. He's going to get picked up by the Fable, and now it looks like Mofi's going to get focused by the Panda split themselves. A blink, a couple more right clicks. It's going to seal the deal. Nice play here for Tong Fu.
Yeah.
And
The
like
counter initiation was just too strong.
Yeah,
they get the gyrocopter, but then everyone just falls apart.
they can't go for the team fights. Even though they have the Mag RP, I feel like Tongfu is playing these team fights a ton better. Better experience, better hero matchup with the Clockwork and with the Panda now. They have to go for solo pickoffs. You see that Kato mid by himself, you go for that solo pickoff. Because that's all you're going to reliably get. If you're going to go engage in a team fight, you're going to lose more than you get. And I think Rising Star is falling slowly further and further down. We see a 4K difference now. In this game, they don't have the farming that is known as Alchemist to keep them in the game.
Yeah, the three core heroes for Tongfu just really tanky. Brewmaster, 1200 HP. If he gets a split off, he lives longer. 1700 HP for Clockwork, and that's really where these team fights go horribly wrong. Gyrocopter, probably the most squishy of those, who they did focus down first, because if you don't, he has a ton of flat cannon damage as well as his cooldown. But while that's going on, Keep Light sits back, spans some Illuminate. The other key heroes, Clockwork and Brewmaster, do a lot of damage, and Rising Stars just can't win those fights long term.
Clockwork hook as well as a blink clap initiation. XTD is very tanky, but nice blinding knife and a call down. Everybody on Rising Star will melt.
Mag
Jesus.
skewers the hell out of there. Luckily, King J can't blink after him because of the Shadow Strike, but
Radiant's
towers at mid gonna drop. How doing so much damage? Keeper of the Light. That Illuminate, that's just level 3. Need to get that 4th point, man. Get those big nukes going. Banana on the Keeper of the Light. Doing some serious work. And Tongfu now with a very, very clear advantage.
Not just Illuminate, that blinding light was so good. Generally used blinding light defensively, but he sent it in the retreat pass of Rising Star, and that bounced him back in, and it looks like we're gonna have a little bit of revenge kill. I think they're gonna pick on Banana all day long. Are they gonna lose a Wisp even this time?
Did he still relocate? Okay, still Chaos Bolt, never mind.
Okay. Still in relocate, I guess not as impressive. You get to be a wannabe Nation's Prophet,
bottom
I guess.
tower's getting the business.
But, any case, last game we saw Mofi already have Blink Dagger in this point, at this part of the game. He will have it very soon, but again, I don't think Blink is even that useful or that effective this game as Clockwork will find. Maybe I want to say maybe we want to go to Force Staff.
Dire's mid
Yeah, that's what Volva loves to do on Clockwork. Go for the Force Staff, so when you get the cog, you go with the cogs in, you have an escape spell, so you don't just get burst down.
Oh, no. I'm talking about Magnus here. Do you think he goes Force Staff? Because
instead of Blink?
Yeah, I mean,
Blink
I
is
think
nice.
You have to go Blink. But are you ever gonna get your Blink off?
Yeah, I don't see. I mean, Clockwork rockets can always find you, but it's always one of those things where you're not always going to have rockets scouting you out, or maybe your position just sort of isn't where the rocket is. If you're fighting more in the open, I think there's always a chance to get a good blink ulti off.
Dire's top tower.
He's got a couple of decent ones so far. Let's see if he can really continue. I mean, if they really want to, let's say, drop a really good RP through the rocket and whatever else, they could always relocate him in. So the option is there.
About time.
Oh yeah, they will see it coming, or at least they'll see a relocate coming and maybe look to sort of maneuver around it. It's not always the easiest liability. Uh-oh, Zhao Chuji. Bottom lane, another initiation coming. I think he might be okay here. Chaos Ball from the Rubik, and Wisp sends him home. This is going to be the death of Wisp, though, because he's going to come back and just...
Well, you can see Mofi, he's waiting on the sideline. This could be the biggest bait. Rotation coming from Queen of Pain as well. They are fighting. Blink, Skewer, RP. Where's the RP? RP finally being used, and they are got it. But nobody's dying. Queen of Pain is going to clean up. Double kill so far. Looks like the recall in from How. Nice. Well, they do actually fly him up in there. Mofi's on the run. He's going to go down to the Boulder Bash. And a couple more right-click shouts. He drops a 4-second stun. Air comes in. If he can pick off How, this will be a huge win. He can go for Banana as well. Big clap comes through. There's Blinks here. Banana's still alive. Xiaotushi's looking on the chase. He does have 7 charges on the match.
Still.
Oh,
perfect time.
Great timing here. Xiaotuchi is going to survive. He's very tanky. Eliminate comes through. King J still low. And I think King J will go down here.
That's the Queen of Pain coming into play. Queen of Pain just playing out there. House BKB timing was nice, but it was too low that the physical damage brought him down. So Tongfu lose quite a lot there.
Yeah, Tongfu got blindsided. This is the one few time where they don't have enough sight in that team fight. And because of that, the Skiro came out of nowhere. This ward was not dropped at the beginning of the team fight. So they would have obviously did not see Magnus. And yeah, they all waited for the Wisp to come back, but suddenly it was Wisp and a CK, and they did a ton of damage.
Yeah, Mag got a pretty decent RP, and then even with the TPs from Tongfu, fighting that close to a Tongfu tier 1 was so risky for Rising Stars. I'm surprised they actually looked to do it, but it really paid off.
Yeah, it did. And now they're down by 7 kills, and the gold chart is not really that much in their disadvantage. About a 3,000 to 4,000 disadvantage for Rising Star. And it's actually fair to start looking at the late game potential of both teams. On one side, you have RP, you have CK, you have Wisp, and you have Queen of Pain. Very impressive late game heroes. Let's track not too bad himself. But on the other, you have a How. He's not farming as nearly as well as last game, but in fact, he's actually kind of far off here. He doesn't have anything.
He's not dominating it as much as far. Net worth, he's behind the Queen of Pain even. Queen of Pain with a completed Orchid 1k gold. May go back for the BKB, but I don't even know if BKB is going to be needed this game. Just something to help tank up a bit more, be it just the Scythe of Ice, you get the plus stats from the Ultimate Orb, or even just go into something like an Aghanim Scepter here. Air is really fast.
Yeah, I guess BKB would be nice to deal against a Brewmaster Cyclone. You don't want to be out of the fight for that long, and KJ would be looking for you, I imagine. So I still think it's a decent item. And that's pretty much it for the late game of Tong Fu, right? They just have the Gyro. I mean, Panda's not exactly a late game hero. Same thing with Clock. These are 2 utility teamfight heroes that after a certain stage in the game, they just don't do anything in terms of damage output.
Well, Tong Fu going to take Roshan while coupling Rising Stars. Doing a bit of damage to this tier 2. Not going to commit to it. The Edict does get down to below half HP, but now we're going to see Aegis picked up by How. We've got the Wisp at bottom alone. Wisp, man, you just gotta hug that CK. That's your job. What you doing by yourself?
I don't know.
He's a little
bit lost in the jungle right now.
Yeah. Come on, Wisp. You just gotta spend the entire game hugging CK, basically. That's your role.
I think Wisp wants that farm. He's like, man, I gotta overcharge. I just get an MKB, and I drop the deeps myself.
I think right now he's desperate for a Zerrin, but the deeps can come later, maybe.
Yeah, he is gonna go back in the mid lane, finds his friend, and now they can farm together.
We go.
Yeah, that's a
reunited at last.
Yeah, I don't know what he had a little bit of a. I don't know what's the best way to describe it. Now, but Xiaotuji farming back in the mid lane, he will have BKB himself. The BKB is nice, but there's cogs that will push him around. Don't forget that call down will slow through BKB. That's the big thing.
Well, we'll see. Rising Stars, they've grouped up at mid. They outlook to sort of actually getting this T1 tower will help them a lot. It's also really low. But like you mentioned, cooldown is something that the slow does go through BKB, so that sort of does limit the option for this Rising Stars team to get to me. But CK does almost have it, so once that's up, It's more the nukes, I feel, which is
And
causing
we're
him
back.
problems. Just stuff like Keeper of the Light, Illuminate at the back, Fade, Bolt Spam, the Rocket Barrage plus cooldown damage. The slow hurts, but he's got the Wisp tether to sort of make up for that, as well as relocate him around.
Yeah, of course, the defensive posture is going to really allow him to go around. Of course, slow doesn't matter too much when you have a Blink Strike on top, so you can see that he is very soon to finishing his BKB.
Okay, Air walks past an Observer Ward, and there is a smoke gang coming down, but can they actually kill off Air? Unless they get a telekinesis, I don't see this working.
Yeah, she is going to be going back to BKB. You can see that.
Rocket.
Ooh, not going to
Doesn't
see
see
it.
him.
Yeah, nice guess though. Power Threats and Ogre Club's going to put him at 1200 HP, and this is.
Look at this Air, man. He's like getting the hell out of there. He knows what's coming.
He's got the TP. I think he just want to go back and lane eventually farm, but
Yeah.
this is one of the few times we see Tongfu going for a smoke
Dude,
gank.
he's
No way.
his smoke wore off. He knows someone's nearby. His smoke got revealed. And Air TP's the hell. I think Air heard the rocket. Well, he saw the heroes as well, but he TP's the hell out of there.
Yeah, and looks like we're gonna see a little bit of tier 1 defense. No free towers. That's one of the first time we see Tongfu going for a big smoking, fine man, not finding a pickoff, and as a result they're down 4 teleport squirrels, a smoke, and about a minute and a half of farm time. That's a big loss, especially when you're not leading by that much. You can see the gold chart is steadily climbing back up.
Yep. This is definitely a good opportunity for Rising Stars to catch up a little bit here and there. They are starting to get some decent items, even on heroes, apart from their Queen of Pain. You've got Mag, 1200 gold, even just the supports like Leshrac with treads and a couple braces makes him so much more durable in these fights, and his damage output is pretty solid.
Yeah, I'm actually more and more in favor of Rising Star now, as of course Queen of Pain could be, after he finishes BKB, she can be picking up a Siphon of Ice, and that's some decent late game coming out of her, and of course we know what CK can do, we know what Magnus can do at late game. A lot of players was like, oh man, Magnus got to line a 3-man RP to have late game impact. He really doesn't. The fact that he's running around a team fight, threatening RP, that's alone enough distraction for Tongfu to deal with. More importantly, let's not forget about Empower. That's a lot of damage for his allies, whether it's going to be a Queen of Pain, whether it's going to be Xiao Tuji, or himself. He's just a huge late game hero.
Alright, mid-tier 1 finally goes down, and while it does get denied, this is still good for Rising Stars, because just having that tier 1 up, it's close to Roshan, it's very centered on the map, so if someone dies by his backward to get back to a fight, it's a pretty important tower to bring down.
How and King Jacob be farming the enemy ancients a little bit.
Yep, nice little steal there. They have got the gem on Brewmaster, so I think for Tongfu, it's just looking to get complete map control here, take these sort of 5-man roam, get complete map control, de-ward everything, and then take down towers one by one using this. The Blink Panda Clap does give them that options that makes it pretty much impossible to lose a team fight if they execute correctly.
Yep. And you can see that right now, Leshrac saving for a Ghost Scepter. It is so important for low armor, squishy supports to save for Ghost Scepter if you're up against a Gyrocopter. And because of that, I'm very scared for the Wisp. You see that he's solo in HP, he's solo in armor, and he has to be in the middle of the fight because, well, they tell it to your CK. So I imagine Wisp is going to die a ton in these team fights, unless they team wipe the enemy team.
Tier 2 does go down, no deny coming out. How now has his MKB? Yeah, 100 gold from his MKB. So Tongfu just, it seems like last game, they're not looking to shine or do anything flashy, they're just looking to methodically take the game, although this game has been a bit more shakier. Rising Stars has made some big plays, has caused Tongfu some anguish, but I think for Tongfu they found their footing, they're not looking to take these aggressive fights. We saw a lot of kills early on, but now things have settled down. Tongfu happy to just chill, get their farm, get their next level of items, take these towers without a fight, and just try and pull away a bit as far as gold goes, but it hasn't really been working too much for him.
Yeah, they have the mech on Banana. They don't have a pipe here on Mu. Looks like it's not going to be one of those push up your high ground and win kind of game. And again, I want to go back to my point of Clockwork and Brewmaster. They don't do damage late game. It's a lot resting on the shoulder and how, and he's actually been dying a couple of times in this team fight. Again, I'm not liking the Tongfu's chance if it goes very late, but the Clockwork Cook is going to initiate on Xiao Tuji. Is he going to get bailed out? Looks like we're going to relocate Tether back in, and home they go.
Oh no, CK didn't go home.
Oh no.
The Reality Rift, as well as, I think he got pushed out of the tether range and it snapped, or either that or he tethered an illusion or something, but that did not work, and Wisp is dead now as well.
Well,
oh gosh.
Looks like Spirits was stolen.
Tongfu, even with 2 kills, Forced back, they have to defend this. Well, they don't have to. They want to defend this top tier 2 from the Mag. Mag, who has got his 4 stuff now on top of his Blink Dagger, and Tongfu get themselves 2 kills, back to farming. I think they're pretty happy with how they're going to scale towards the late game, that they don't feel they have to push and do anything else. Not to mention, there's no tier 2 at mid lane. They'd have to go for a tier 3, which I think they wouldn't be able to do. So they're going to look to push some of these side lanes.
Yeah, right now you don't want to give away any free gold to Rising Stars, so not taking that push is a good idea. Roshan's also not up, so they couldn't do that. So I think the next objective here for the Dower team is looking at these tier 2 on the side lane, so that if you win a big team fight, you go straight to the Raxus.
Yeah. Well, for Tongfu, what is there something they're waiting for, do you feel, before they actually look to push and take these team fights or look to siege high ground?
Yeah, I think they're waiting for a BKB on King J. He's very close to it, about 1600 gold. And of course, they're always looking for a pick-off. You get a free pick-off, you get a free tower, and perhaps
Mofi
even a
just
Rex.
blew an RP. Mofi just blinked in, forced up in on Hal, dropped an RP, and then just ran away. He was on his own. I think he was expecting a Wisp relocate, but Wisp relocate was on cooldown. I think it was a huge miscommunication there, because he went 1v1 against Gyro, dropped an ultimate for nothing.
Well, Super is going to be in a little bit of trouble as well. He's going to be tethering out. And because there is no RP available, Mu could use this hookshot very freely. Tier 1's going to be easily, or Tier 2 is going to be easily destroyed. And if Tongfu wants to press for high ground right now and just do a little bit of pressure, they really can, to be completely honest here.
And the hookshot with the Acceptor has such a short cooldown as well. You can just be using that every 12 seconds, and RP cooldown, they're not going to look to go high ground just yet. They actually have Hal back towards the bottom lane. He's got 2k gold now on top of his MKB and BKB, so we'll maybe see some lifesteal or just go straight for the butterfly like last game. Either way, it's another tower going Tongfu's way. They fall back. They're playing pretty well against this Wisp. Once again, they're really just maintaining some good positioning, not giving any openings for the Wisp, apart from a keeper of the light kill here and there.
I think this game, Hal should go, if he's going for Butterfly, he should go for the Talisman first because of the CK. He needs a little bit of survivability. I think Helm is the correct choice though, in terms of damage item output, but we'll see, because I really don't think he's that far ahead to go straight Butterfly without any kind of defensive, aside from his BKB.
Yeah, I definitely agree somewhat. I think Tongfu, I think the defensive item may come when Roshan's back up. I'm probably looking for the Aegis once again on Hal's Gyrocopter. He is going to be respawning in a minute or two, and I think until they get the next Aegis, they're not going to be looking to take Raxes or try to take those tier 3s yet.
Mu constantly looking for a Clockwork hookshot, and both teams really gather on the mid lane. In terms of team fight, it seems like Rising Stars team fight hasn't really been online. I mean, it's always available, but they just don't find the target. I really think that's credit to Tongfu not really getting caught out together. And if you get caught by a 3-man RP, you're like, the team fight's over. Sonic Wave's gonna follow through. You're gonna have Shrek with his lightning as well as Split Earth, and that's just too much AoE damage. Looks like we're gonna see a big smoke, and it's gonna break up here. Rocket's gonna miss, and now they know it's gonna be on the right side. Ward's gonna get dropped. Oh,
ow.
Misplay, but like you said, yeah, low cooldown. Looks like Mu might be a little bit of trouble. He's gonna focus on air, Cogs being dropped, and now Xiao Juji's gonna come back in, but Panda blinked in as well. He's gonna be initiating on super slow. Is gonna actually make it out alive. He's trying to juke through. He is gonna die to the rocket. Xiao Juji, his ultimate's running out soon. He's gonna get Clockwork hooked. Oh, that's gonna be a 1-man RP on Hal, but Hal has BKB stolen RP. Huge turnaround here, and BKB's running out Xiao Juji. He's gonna get 1 kill. He's gonna be on the run, but you're not gonna run away from that one. Xiao Juji
is out of mana too. Hookshot gonna find him. He's gonna full magic wand here. He can get out of this one. It looks like okay, and Mu can't really chase much further, but it's Tongfu once again. Straightforward team fight from them. They've just got too much of an item advantage, and their hero team fight is just so much stronger, even with the Mag RP. Not all the Mag RP didn't land very well, but even fighting into a Mag RP, they're just like not even bothered by it.
You were talking about what Tongfu was waiting for. They were just waiting for the opportunity. They found it.
Radiant lost one of their bottom towers.
Misses the initiation. Like that was that one team fight to have amazing RP and just do it for basically free. But it's just too much pressure throughout the entire game. Super's gonna survive, but who's gonna defend these Raxes?
Slowly being chipped away. Hal with the MKB doing some decent damage here. I don't know if Tongfu can actually successfully get this tier 3 tower even. Hero's starting to respawn Mag. No RP for 45 seconds. CK back alive. He's got no BKB for a bit, but even so, Tongfu gonna back off, play it safe. Look to go for Roshan, I imagine.
Yeah, it's gonna be a free one. Nobody's gonna challenge him. That's gonna give King J his BKB. Let's quickly see what other big item pick up here. We're gonna see 4-staff finish on Rubik. That's a nice one. Mu, another 2,300 gold. God knows what he's going for. He's so rich at this point. It's going to be a Shiva's guard or AC even. And of course, Banana's got himself a Vid booster. It looks like we're going to see a big fight in this near... Oh, big smoke coming in right now. No RP available. If they can focus on King J. King J pops his BKB. Clockwork hooks in against for Super again. And now Sonic Wave should be used very soon. No, yeah, they are going to pop a Sonic Wave. But how in the middle? He is just shredding everybody. Xiao Tuji is going to get picked off as well. And with that teamfight loss, I think they don't even need Rosh. They could just go for the Raxus right now. They're going to get the safe Roshan though, and get the Raxus follow through.
They did lose Clockwork, and while they do have a numbers advantage, pushing without Clockwork's hard because you need Clockwork for the initiation, the pickoffs, and that was well played by Queen of Pain. Got the silence immediately on Clockwork when Clockwork hooked in. Just they focused him down fast enough and managed to find one kill in that mess. But one kill's all they're going to get. The BKB being popped so fast by Brewmaster was really smart and just caused Rising Stars all sorts of problems. So easy at Aegis going the way of How, and he's going to have that butterfly once again in just a second.
If he came in the first place by Brewmaster, it's very smart. Like, a lot of people think, oh, I'm going to be in Panda Split anyway, so I don't need really survivability items. But a lot of people forget how strong the hero actually is. Just like as a hero that right-clicks, claps, drop a Drunken Haze or two, tank of more damage, and that's exactly what we saw out of King J, was BKB right-clicking away, and then after the BKB almost ran out, go back into his ultimate form.
Yeah.
Actually, did he even cast his ultimate? I don't think he was...
No, he didn't have it. It was on cooldown from the last fight. The one thing I'm somewhat not a big fan of is how many stat points he has. At this point, when you're level 16, you should have at least a couple more points in either Haze or Drunken Boral. I don't mind getting 2, 3, even 4 points in stats early, but this many points in stats? It seems a bit over the top.
I guess he's just respecting the fact that there is RP Sonic Wave up, and he just wants to actually get the ultimate off, because it doesn't matter if you ult at 4 HP or at 2 HP, as long as you get your ult off, a lot of times the teamfight will be over before you even come back into your Brewmaster form, so maybe there's that. But in any case, he is at 2k HP almost, with 9 armor and a ton of evasion coming out from his passive. Looks like Tongfu looking to win the game now. It is going to be, again, straight up butterfly. Helm not necessary. Clockwork Coke. Looks like he missed a second time.
another miss, another just wait 10 seconds for it to cool down. And Tongfu, this is just a slow siege. Silence actually gets used on King J here. Pretty short cooldown from the Orchid of Queen of Pain. We'll be back up soon, but Tongfu will just rinse, repeat. Send How onto the high ground, just chip away at it bit by bit. May even see the mech used by Banana just to heal How up. They don't have any earn charges, unfortunately, but however they look to play this, it's Rising Stars who have to get aggressive, who have to go in and stop this push.
But no, it's going to be Tongfu that's initiating again a super. That's going to force him to tether away. And now look at how right-clicking off to the Raxus to actually flat cannon kill everybody. XCD, he's going to pick off. No, he's actually going to survive King J's on the chase. He's going to turn back. He sees the Raxus as a higher priority target. Will pick up off. No, it looks like King J taking the tower, but ulting because of those stat points. And looks like Xiao Tuji BKB is going to be running out very, very soon. He's going to get picked up by Gyrocopter himself. Tossing up Queen of Pain in the air. She's going to blink out, but the bot Raxes are already done. And I really think they could just go mid Raxes, to be completely honest.
Yeah, Brewmaster is going to be coming out of this ultimate form very low in just a second, but meanwhile, Clockwork actually another hook coming out, and it's CK without a BKB. Rocket's going to be hitting him, and this is going to be very hard for him to fight. Pops the ultimate, actually dodges the stun, using that. Mu taking quite a bit of damage here. Going to be forced back, but he's got backup, got plenty of backup here. And Wisp, CK, there's no openings for him. They've got to relocate, but I don't see them looking to relocate into this Tong Fu Deathfall army.
Yeah, and the next fight that's going to be coming back up, Gyrocopter will have lifesteal, so you're not going to kill him. As he still has the Aegis Immortal King J. It's going to be up to another 2k gold. He could even pick up an Ultimate Orb or anything like that. Right now, Tong Fu just need to buy any kind of small items, spend all their gold, and just use the item advantage to push for the win. They're down by 16 kills now, Rising Star, as well as over 10,000 gold. They were slightly coming back in that mid-game inactivity when Tongfu failed smoke ganks here and there, and Rising Star was able to kind of really come back through the farming, but now they're really, really falling behind.
Yeah, and with Aegis still on How, it means Tongfu can just rinse, repeat. They'll look to go for another push here, probably just slow siege it with Gyrocopter on the high ground, and stopping it, it's going to be very difficult once again.
Yeah. What is the comeback here for Rising Star? Do you pray for a 3-man RP?
5-man RP, really. But the thing is, the way Tong Fu are fighting this, I mean, I mentioned it's Rising Stars who need to go in. It's Tong Fu who are quite happy just to hookshot in. But the thing is, the great part about this hookshot initiation is it right off the bat separates the Tong Fu team. Clockwork's not looking to have his whole team back him up and going in. He's just looking to zone things out, give Hao more space to just right-click away on the tier 3 towers, on the racks. His Brewmaster will just go in by himself as well. He doesn't have to worry about the Orchid from Queen of Pain because of the BKB. So as soon as he gets low, he just pops the ultimate, and it's another zoning hero. Everything about Tong Fu is just about being split up, and it's when they initiate in, it's too easy.
Relocate back in the mid lane, though. They're gonna. Well, no, I'm not sure about that one. Relocate into 4.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about. I think they only saw one hero there, but what you'd expect is that Tong Fu coming to 5-man push mid. So I think it was just
well, miscalculation, whatever.
It was a Hail Mary play.
It was, and there was
Radiant's mid towers
a very, very low success rate on that one. Tong Fu is gonna knock Rising Star out of the tournament, I believe. Unless this is a double elimination bracket, I don't believe it is.
It's single elimination. There is a 3rd place match, though, I believe,
Radiant's
tomorrow.
Yep.
So they'll be playing in the 3rd place match against the loser of MUFC and Zenith, which will be our next best of 3, which I think starts in around 45 minutes or so.
So my question for you guys, as you know a little bit more about MUFC as well as Zenith, is whether Tong Fu could take either of these CGs. Can they just win the finals here?
Absolutely. I think my prediction would be Zenith to beat MUFC. I think Zenith just overall a small notch above MUFC. I think Zenith versus Tong Fu would be a very even grand finals. I'd give Tong Fu a slight edge against MUFC though.
Alright, so and of course the rest of the team that's left within the tournament and the AMD Premier League is all TI3 invites, so should be really, really good games coming up soon.
Yeah, all TI3 invites, $5,000 up for grabs. So if you want to grab a Dota TV ticket, you can do so. I think it's only like $3, maybe $4, something pretty cheap. You can watch all the games in there. But yeah, great games coming out. Semi-finals is over. Tong Fu get a 2-0, fairly convincing win. It was fun seeing the Wisp pick out of a Chinese team, but it just didn't really work. They never really got the reload ganks going. They never really got any momentum coming out of the Wisp CK.
Yeah, they weren't farming with the Wisp, they weren't really ganking with the Wisp. We saw some decent ganks on the Kato, but you saw how quickly the Chinese were able to react to that. So, well, Tong Fu will knock Rising Star back to the, I guess, a consolation match as they will survive and keep on playing. I am Loomis, he is Gods. We'll be back in about, I want to say 30 to 40 minutes. For the next best of 3, that's going to be Zenith versus MUFC. So some strong C teams going up against each other. Don't go away, guys. We'll be back in about close to an hour.